holiday for two. We are just unloading from our trip through southern Arizona, so don't look at the mess. But I want to share some of the exciting things that we did. We got to see some really cool things while we were down in southern Arizona. I got to go to Tombstone, got to see the town, Too Tough to Die, they call it. Got to go to Karstner Caverns, do some hiking. Got to go to Lake Patagonia and walk around the lake. And it was cold in the lake, so we didn't get in the lake. But I want to share with you a little pit stop we made on the way to Lake Patagonia. After we left Mount Hopkins Road, I made a pit stop at a place that I haven't been to in a long time. It's called Tumacacori. It's a National Historic Park, and I also got to use, for the first time, my senior pass. Yeah, I was excited about that. It was the first time I actually got to use it going in someplace. So if you have one of these, you can get in Tumacacori for free. So this video today is about Tumacacori National Historic Park. If you like this video, please hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that little bell on the side so you'll be notified when I put out more of our videos on this Arizona road trip in the future. So today, let's take a quick look at Tumacacori National Historic Park. Let's go.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
Tumacacori National Historic Park is located about 40 miles south of Tucson. In the Santa Cruz River Valley, has 360 acres of property to explore and 3 separate units. So traveling south from Tucson on I-19, you're going to go through the communities of Green Valley, Amado, and then Tubac. Then you're going to look for the exit for the National Historic Park near Tumacacori Carmen. Go on the frontage road and head south. And when you get down this frontage road, there will be some stores nearby that you can stop at and visit as well. And there's plenty of parking at the area. It's no charge, no fee to park. And you'll see the parking lot here. Now this park has a long history. It goes back over 340 years, I believe, back to the 1670s, when the Spanish settlers first came here and started exploring and building. The native people in the area are called the Ohodum, as well as Apache. So the National Historic Park was actually founded by President Teddy Roosevelt back in 1908, I believe it was. It's known officially as Mission San Jose de Tumacacori. And there is a fee, a normal fee of $10 to get in. I used my senior pass, so that was free. I think there's a reduced fee for children as well. They have a little gift shop, t-shirts and things like that, and souvenirs. And I actually bought a t-shirt. And had to do that. Every time I go somewhere, I got to buy a t-shirt. But you walk in and you start, there's a little shelf there with all kinds of information. This is one of the brochures that they gave us to kind of a map of what it would have looked like in the past. And it's amazing. 360 acres. They had everything they needed here. They had a place to manufacture products that they needed for the farming tools and things like that. They could grow their own crops, and they taught the Ohodum how to use some of the methods that they learned, how to plant seeds and grow crops so they could go out and grow better crops and wheat and different kinds of foods and stuff. And Father Kino, when I was in a took an Arizona history class in high school, I know we had to learn about Father Kino. He was the one who came. He was about 42 years old when he came here. Now this church is one of the early churches. This is the Church Iglesia, but there were actually 3 different churches that were built here. One of the churches that Father Kino built. Some of the churches were built back in the 1600s and so on. There were 3 buildings over different time periods. And also San Javier Mission up in Tucson was built around the same time. over the years, they've been working to restore and keep up the area. So they do have a lot of things that you can see. Like this building over here is where people lived. And I just got some different pictures. It was so incredible to go inside. And it was cold. And I know that in the summertime, it stays cool inside here as well because of the thick adobe walls. And somebody that was visiting asked a really good question, and I thought it was really good. They asked, where did they get the wood to build the ceiling out of? And they had to think about that for a minute, but I realized the answer was pretty good. They gave an answer of, there's a place nearby called Madera Canyon. And up in the Santa Rita Mountains, there are some places up there where some pines grow. And that's most likely where they got a lot of the wood when the Spanish came here in the 1600s. They probably went up in Santa Rita's and harvested some of the pine trees that are up there. There's some tall pines, ponderosa pines up there. But just amazing. They've tried to leave the inside of this building as much original as it possibly can, and yet keep it preserved so it doesn't decay. Now there's a story there. I was looking at one of the plaques. There's a cemetery. They had some run-ins with the Apache, the people who lived around there, the Apache people. The Apache people were not quite as friendly as the Ohodum. They didn't really trust the Spanish settlers too much. Obviously, they didn't trust a lot of people that came up from Europe and stuff because of things that happened. But they did have some misfortunes with the Apaches attacking the mission, so that is why they brought some of the soldiers, the Spanish soldiers who were housed there at the mission to protect the mission, as well as protect not only the priests that were there, but also protect some of the Ohodum settlers that decided to live within the mission. This was actually one of the places where people would have lived, right in this building right here. And it would have had a roof at one time. There's a little fireplace. And this would have been one of the places where maybe the Ohodum people who came here to live. I think this was a house at one time where they lived. But the roof is long since gone. The church would have been like the main assembly hall where everybody would have gathered. And I just enjoyed walking around and getting some different shots of the building and the architecture. The weather was absolutely phenomenal. Also took a little trip inside. They have a little museum that you can go in. It gives you a really good history of the area, as well as showing you some of the pottery and things that they made. Hey, if you like this video, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Stay tuned at the end. I'll show you a little clip at the end that show you how to find this Tumacacori National Park. Have a good day. Bye. And I just like to add these little videos at the end of the video to show folks how to get to the places that I'm showing in the video. So coming from Tucson, you're going to go down I-19. It's approximately 40 miles south of Tucson and about 20 miles north of Nogales. Come down I-19 and you're going to take, let me zoom in here and show you, there's a freeway exit you're going to want to take before you get to the actual park. And then you're going to want to go down the frontage road. So I think the exit is up here. Yeah, the exit is up here on, let's see what the road is, Barrio de Tubac. It's the exit for Tubac. But once you get off the freeway, you're going to follow down the frontage road for a little ways till you get to the actual park itself. It's about another 2 miles. And there's some little shops on the other side. Let me switch here to, there we go. There's some little stores on the other side, a little bar, a restaurant across the street from there. Plenty of parking here, so there's a long strip parking lot here. You're going to park in this parking lot. And then the guest shop and the entrance is right here. But all of this is part of the old mission San Jose de Tumacacori. And you can visit and walk around the whole grounds. They have a lot to see, so you take your time. And there's a lot to see when you get inside here. There's a little museum is off to the side here. Then they have little places where you can eat. It's like if you bring, like, let's say you bring a little picnic lunch with you, and you want to have a little bite to eat after or before you go in, you can sit down in here and have your picnic lunch. And then the main church is over here, and some of the old other grounds and stuff. There's displays here that show how they grew crops and things like that. But at one time, this was a huge complex in its day, and they had soldiers stationed there, like I said, to protect it from some of the raiding Apache tribes that really weren't happy with their presence there. I'll just kind of leave it at that. You can kind of figure the rest out. How to get there? Once you do get there, there are places to stay. If you want to stay in a hotel or if you have an RV, what we did is we stayed over here at on Mount Hopkins Road. That's in one of my other videos. There's a road over here by Amato. Take Elephant Head Road, get off the freeway, come down, take Elephant Head Road, then go down to Mount Hopkins Road. And I believe it's hard sometimes to find them on these maps and stuff, but you're going to look for Mount Hopkins Road, see if I can find it. There's also there. It's the way to get to the Fred Lawrence Whipple Observatory, Mount Hopkins Road, right in here. There it is. And this is state trust land, and there's places in here where you can pull off in an RV and spend the night. And we stayed right in this little spot, but there was a couple spots up earlier. There was a really nice spot up before that. A couple of spots that we found, but they were all taken. I think that was the one right there. No, that was one that was taken, but there was one even before that. There it is. There's a spot here that was really nice, but there were three big fifth wheels. They were parked in there. And so there was lots of room there for big trailers. There's a nice spot there if you have a big RV or a couple of them you want to get in there. There actually are more spots down this Forest Service road up in here. We went down this road a little bit, but we turned around and then went back up the road because I knew there was some more up the road. And sure enough, that was the spot we found that night. And it was starting to get dark, so we wanted to pull in and get a spot real quickly. And also looked later on, we kind of took a little look up the road and found some more spots up here. But if you keep going, pretty soon you're going to run out of state trust land. So you want to kind of stick probably farther back past this Forest Service road right here. But this is all state trust land. There is some BLM land mixed in here, as well as park land. So you do want to have a map with you so you can see exactly where you are in relation to the lines of BLM or state trust land or private property. I'm not sure about the observatory. We didn't go in the Whipple Observatory. I believe they have tours. It would be interesting to check that out sometime. It looks like there's like a little parking lot there. I'm looking at it on Google Maps here and just reading about it real quick. Looks like there may be, you can go in there and take a look at these telescopes they have. These are a different kind of telescope, and I don't know if you're into astronomy much, but these are multi-mirror scopes. So, in the old days they had like just one huge mirror, like some of the older telescopes, but now they're building telescopes with several dozen mirrors, and they basically serve the same function as a huge giant mirror. So it's really kind of neat how they have worked on the technology to improve these telescopes. And then, of course, that's not the telescope. The telescope is up on the mountain up here. You have to go way up this mountain. It doesn't even mark it on the map here, but this is the Whipple Observatory way up here. It's ran and operated by Smithsonian and University of Arizona. And that's just one here of many telescopes that are in this area in southern Arizona. Another one's a famous one is Kitt Peak Observatory. And so if you come to this part of Arizona, there are so many really neat things to see. I would plan on maybe if you don't have an RV, you could stay somewhere like in Green Valley or even up in Tucson and make this a day ride. This would be a great day trip coming down to along this highway here. So much to see along with Green Valley, you can stop in Green Valley and there's places to eat. But you can make a loop through Patagonia, Sonoita. This is the Arizona's wine country over here. And it's kind of a nice place to visit. Then if you are done in Sonoita, take the Highway 83 back up to Tucson. and then you get eventually connect up to the I-10. Takes you back to Tucson. So that loop right there is probably altogether about a 2-hour trip. Give yourselves a good 2 hours of driving time, coming down the freeway and back up this highway, and some stops to see some things, maybe have a bite to eat. Great day trip, or if you find some places that you can spend the night like we did along the Mount Hopkins Road. Have a great day. Safe travels wherever you're going, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Catch you later, guys. Bye.